Hi friends, today we are reviewing another crime series. I guess 2024 has a quite murderous start. The premiere episode of Apple TV's new thriller show Criminal Records, created by Paul Ruttman. Starring Cush Jumbo and Peter Capaldi in amazing roles, the show gets intense with the dramatic performance, soundtrack and of course murders. The UK-based show premiered on the 10th of January with 2 episodes, and the third was recently released on the 17th. The plot revolves around 2 police detectives entangled in a twisted case after receiving a mysterious phone call from an anonymous person. One is a young woman in the initial phase of her career, and the other is a well-connected old man resolved to safeguard his legacy. As the show progresses, both brilliantly skilled officers tussle in a battle to rectify an ancient miscarriage of justice. Sounds heavy. I watched the first episode and it was gripping and intense. I was in a constant adrenaline rush like all the other characters in the show. It was finely paced, perfectly balanced, and well written, giving an ending that legit made me scream. No joke. The episode was interesting from start to end. Talking about the intro, the show sets off with a very dark, sad undertone, a colour scheme very similar to many UK-based series like Sherlock or Luther. It already gives us a head start that the show is all about crimes and utter sadness. No, trust me, it did give a boring, plain overlook, but what really elevates the show is its plot. Now that we have mentioned it, let me talk you through the plot of the episode. The show unfolds with some intrigue. From a phone booth, a frightened woman choosing to remain anonymous contacts a domestic violence hotline. Tearfully, she claims that her abusive boyfriend is linked to a cold murder case from years ago. A wrongly accused man is currently serving a 24-year sentence. Before disclosing more details, CCTV footage captures her encountering some unruly youths on bikes, prompting her to flee. The entire call was so disturbing to hear as she mentioned the gory details. The call itself plays such a huge role in building the base for the plot, adding the twist, the spice in the boring and mundane life of desk job officers, taking up calls and dealing with minute street crime cases. Detective Sergeant June Lenker, played convincingly by Jumbo, is assigned the case via the hotline and her supervisor. As an ambitious rookie cop striving to reform the Metropolitan Police's culture, Lenker delves into the investigation, delving into the background of the inmate mentioned by the caller. Her pursuit leads her to Detective Chief Inspector Daniel Haggerty, played by Capaldi, the officer who obtained a guilty plea from Errol Mathis for the murder of his girlfriend Adelaide Burrows. Errol is the man who is serving 24 years in prison for a crime he never committed. Now, you all might be taking this case as a normal murder, but what lies behind is a stronger and deeper background historical context: racism. You see, Lenker is a mixed-race woman, and throughout the episode, we see people casually throwing racist remarks as jokes or treating Lenker in a certain way due to her identity. What is mentioned several times in the show is how Errol was black and the late victim being white already adds to the overused and normalized racism prevalent in society. The case was apparently a local entertainer, and thus many believed Errol was guilty because of his race. This slight racial discrimination irked our lead, Lenker. From the moment Lenker links the case to the hotline call, it's evident that Haggerty is cautious. His concern could be tied to preserving his legacy, but it quickly becomes apparent that he is entangled in safeguarding something significant. If we talk about just the first meetup between the 2 leads, the conversation goes entirely awkward and embarrassing, as Haggerty uses his long-time experience to let down a rookie officer, claiming that she's just being delusional to link the call with a wrong conviction case that happened almost 12 years ago. I mean, the man literally says that she should have just written him down an email instead of coming all the way to discuss the case. Ouch! This initiates a tug-of-war between Lenker, often showcased as part of the diversity and inclusion initiatives, and Haggerty, motivated by more than mere prejudice. Both of the characters dominate and maintain their separate plot lines, which lead to the same truth. They were both on the same case, but just not doing it together. I mean, why? Lenker did try to connect to a more experienced man, but it was just the existing prejudice that became a wall between the two. Another plot intertwined with the story was of Errol's son Patrick, who was just 6 years old when the murder happened at the house. The young kid was scarred for life, but still had no account of the incident. Patrick, now an adult, is managing jobs and trying to lead a new life as a waiter, even having a girlfriend. I would love to see how the show takes his story along and builds his character along the plot. And of course, as the plot uncovers the case more and more, including the identity of the unknown caller Maria de Souza, we reach a high-stakes ending that had me on edge. Lenker, just tired of all the casework leading to nothing, gets a call from the hotline again. The anonymous caller is in the bathroom, being threatened by her boyfriend. As she continues to plea for immediate help, scared for her life, the clock keeps ticking with the situation getting intense. Lenker drives to the location directly, but unfortunately she arrives a little late as we witness Maria falling from the 9th floor, right in front of our main lead. Phew, that was a lot. Lenka follows the possible murderer, and our episode ends here with us left to wonder what happens next. I liked how Lenka's resilience and skills as a mere rookie officer were not left to waste, and her doubts were proven to be right and somehow connected. I personally thought that she genuinely was onto something, but it was just being shoved. This brings us to another aspect of the show which is also majorly highlighted: sexism. Lenka was double marginalised, not only because of her race but also her gender. The anti-women jokes were all over the episode. Her superiors were men and they left no room to make her feel like a side character, an officer who is just randomly overanalyzing cases and probably has no point because she is a woman. My take on the show: it was highly interesting, especially the ending left at a huge cliffhanger. I liked how they took different stories into one and did not make it messy. The show did a great job in discussing social issues such as racism and sexism that are very common and prevalent in workplaces. A show that manages to bring a change and shine a light on serious issues is a win-win for me. As we wrap up this thrilling journey through criminal records, I want to hear your thoughts. Drop your comments below on your favourite moments, the characters that left you speechless, and your predictions for the next episodes. Don't forget to hit that like button if you're as hooked as I am, and subscribe for more pulse-pounding reviews and exciting content. Until next time, stay curious, stay entertained, and I'll catch you in the next video. Also, comment below the show you want us to review next.